guy's running. That's a live stream now.
She can't see. She can either maybe move there or move to this chair maybe.
Yeah, she'll be alright. Yeah, she'll be alright.
Did you find somebody yelling? Did you find somebody out there?
Yes. And I almost just look. But no, he was
There's only two of us. What's her saying? There's still three. No. Only two? Three? There's three or two?
sit down. Is that saved?
Is that saved? Joyce?
Did you get both in? Now sit down for a long time. Yeah.
This one?
That's what we want to sit down and next one. I like to kind of go oh yeah, nobody wants to. She's in here. She's in the back. How are you? That one's
Really supposed to sit on this side? On this whole side? Dorothy's talking so much. No, we don't. Not further down. Dorothy, is it okay with you if I go in here? Excuse me, guys. Yep. Did you get probably know a lot of those. Pretty good. From Minneapolis. And They don't go to different church now. Yeah, and she thinks she's
There's a couple seats here, or there's some right here. Okay?
Hi, how are you tonight? I'm waiting for my daughter.
Don't trust him.
Yes. Huh? No, I said they're terrible. I can't.
He's a window peeker. He's a window peeker.
You're really making me out to go terrible.
Their daughter's here. They went to go get something to eat.
I've got her. I've got him.
They went to go eat quick. We saw you in the camera looking for us. No, I didn't have any.
You That's good. Oh, she's fancy.
For what? What's he gonna buy? She wants to No, it doesn't. She may be able to remember somebody else. I think there was a name that was mentioned beside yours. We played with. We have two teams. Yeah, we have 2 tables or a large table, 8 or 9. Today it was smaller. Oh yeah, I forgot out. I think there was a sign-up sheet. I bet you could catch it there. Oh yeah. Well, somebody always has played more currently. Yeah, freshen up. Hi, excuse me. How are you? I am. Thank you. I remember your daughter comes visit.
Yep. We're in a house lot.
Are you here?
We only live a couple miles away.
Pretty close. Yes, you are. I did send you a message to tell them. They refresh whatever the game is. They had to go through like practice plays. And we don't play for anything that if you won, you don't get anything, you just won.
As the activity director. So last October when I was there, Sandy did brand work here. And they sold their house and then they moved to Sioux Falls. Go to our church.
I noticed you've been sitting with Carol, and that's nice. She was like, Carol, she likes a nice friend with you. Carol? Yeah, it's nice that works out for you. She likes it. Yeah. She'll talk a lot more when she knows you. And she listens and she'll laugh. You know, if it's something like that. She likes to talk about memories. Memories. Where she used to live. The farm, you know. With that, you get to know more people. But I know several times. She must be right here with this boy. They must have something else.
We're gonna go sit right down there. Right next to Annabelle. Okay. Sandra, can you see with that pole there? If you want to, you can sit down next to Karen. Sandra, why don't you sit here? Because you've got that pole. Oh, okay.
How are you? I was wondering if that's I'll read it about next week. No, it's gone.
I said Joe Farm. I did. I know.
I poke it. I poke it. I used to poke your pumpkin, and then it was
No, I told her he was the smartest man in the world.
that's somewhere else.
But the one below is maybe I threw that away
I'm gonna fix your hair a little
In the way of my life,
But is that for your husband?
What is he doing?
It's taped. The chair is taped. Is that your chair? I knew there was some technique.
So be careful. Right up here. This is the live feed of the bistro. Just stand right here. This is the live feed of the bistro.
You want me to win?
No, you're fine. I just want to make you aware of it. That way you know
Oh, does it talk or something?
that. No, they can hear you.
Oh.
Good evening, and welcome to Grand Living at Lake Lorraine. My name is Jane Gullickson, and I am the executive director here, and I'm personally thrilled to have so many of you here with us this evening. A few words, housekeeping before we get started. The restrooms are just out these doors if you need those during the performance. And we will draw for our prizes immediately after the performance today. It's my pleasure to introduce to you Mary Beth Carlson, composer, recording artist, author, and former Teacher of the Year. Mary Beth performs nationally as a concert pianist and as an inspirational keynote speaker. Much of her original music has been inspired by her daughter Jody, born with cerebral palsy and autism. Loving Jody through her journey, complicated by severe mental illness, Mary Beth's music is infused with a uniquely expressive depth of passion. She's written and performed music to benefit organizations serving people with disabilities and unique life challenges. Fortunate to have opportunities to perform for a variety of distinguished audiences, she was honored to be invited by the Billy Graham Evangelistic Association to present a concert of restoration to guests from 40 countries at the Cove in Asheville, North Carolina. A top seller nationwide with several distributors in the gift market and also worldwide with Integrity Music, Mary Beth has produced and recorded 27 albums of piano, orchestral music on her label, MBC Productions. She's also been featured on other CDs with Jim Brickman, J.D. Steele, Steve Hall, and fellow Integrity music artists Sandy Patty and Don Moen. Mary Beth collaboratively created 2 volumes of comprehensive music experiences for residents suffering from Alzheimer's and dementia. Mary Beth and her husband Kent, who's with us this evening as well, have been friends with Dan Paterka, one of our company's founders, and his family since about 1992. Following their success with their comprehensive music experience programs, Mary Beth and Kent completed an integrated, intergenerational music experience program. They created a curriculum for Grand Living, our new innovative company specializing in the development of distinctive senior living communities. Mary Beth and Kent continue to train staff nationwide to implement their program. Just today, they led an enriching and valuable training to our team here at Grand Living at Lake Lorraine. Also in the past 5 years, Mary Beth debuted as an author and a film score composer. She joined Dr. John Gray, author of Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus, best-selling author Brian Tracy, and others to co-author a book titled Words of Wisdom. Experts share strategies for mastering life and business relationships. Dr. Gray chose Mary Beth's music to use in his audio series, Personal Success. Last year, she composed and recorded a film score for the independent film Living Word. Mary Beth's vision is to help provide peace, hope, joy, and inspiration through God's gift of music. Please help me give a warm Grand Living welcome to Mary Beth Carlson.
Jane said, good luck with this. She did a pretty good job with the mic going in and out. And I taught second grade for many years. So really, I don't need a mic. I talk with an outdoor voice most of the time. Oh, what a joy to see you. I had to begin our evening together with that song, Ode to Joy, and then end it with Joy to the World, because I'm really missing Christmas already. But I love that song. I started with Largo by Dvorak from the New World Symphony, Old World Symphony? Which is it? New World Symphony, okay. And I had to weave in Ode to Joy. As you know, an ode is a tribute to something of great significance. And tonight, I played this as an ode to celebrating new beginnings. This is a brand new year. And let's say that this is an ode to celebrating wonderful beginnings of hope, of peace, of joy, and of really hopes and dreams, and lots of blessings. And that's my prayer for each and every one of you tonight. I hope tonight that I happen to play some of your favorite sounds of music. perhaps that's why it's called the universal language. As a musician, I've discovered that it's a powerfully expressive language of, like I mentioned before, of peace, of hope, healing hope, of joy, and in either its deepest complexity or its most tender simplicity, the language of love. The expression of love within relationships can be communicated in such a variety of ways, can it not? I wonder if it's not maybe most effectively expressed in a song. Some of the most passionate melodies have been penned for Broadway musicals, and I'd like to share a medley of two of my favorite songs from the longest running Broadway musical. Can anybody take a guess of what that might be? The longest running musical on Broadway? Cats? Really, really good guesses. It used to be Memory from Cats. It used to be Cats. Now it has been surpassed by Phantom of the Opera. joyful audience you are, so receptive and so appreciative. Thank you so much for that. What do you suppose it is about the music of Broadway that vehemently captures our attention, vividly stirs our imagination, and delights across generations? I've thought about that because of musicals like Phantom and of Cats. They run forever, and people keep coming back and seeing these Broadway musicals time and time again. Maybe it's that we relate empathetically to the story, or possibly we identify with one of the characters. Maybe this causes us to respond so emotionally to the music that supports it all. And when the play's emotional intensity exceeds what words are able to convey, friends, is it not the music that releases the passion and reaches our souls? Les Miserables is a perfect example of this. It's a sensational, stirring story infused with grace and redemption. glad you're here. Thank you so much for spending this time together. You know, I said minutes ago that I'm so sorry that Christmas is over. My favorite music to play is Christmas music, along with gospel music. And I used to work at Nordstrom at the Mall of America. How many people shop at Nordstrom or have shopped at Nordstrom? Yeah, you betcha. Okay. Well, when the mall opened, 25 years ago, I think, maybe more, my husband and I were walking through there just for fun. And he said, I hear live piano music. And I said, no, you don't. I thought, oh, I know where this is going. I think it's just pipe music. I don't think it's live. Well, we went to follow the live music, and certainly there was a live person playing live piano music on a bench at a Steinway piano, right by the escalator. And he said, you know, Mary Beth, I think you should audition. And I said, well, that's pretty funny. I have a big life. I have a big husband. I have a big family, 3 daughters, and I have a big job. I'm a 2nd grade teacher. I don't need another job. But thank you so much for thinking that I maybe could do this. So I auditioned. And the next day, I believe, it was very soon after, a gentleman didn't show up for work at the piano. So they called and they said, Mary Beth, where are you right now? And I said, well, I'm on a lunch break and I'm teaching at Prairie View Elementary School in Eden Prairie, Minnesota. Why do you ask? And she said, well, we'd like you to be a Nordstrom pianist. Oh, that's scary. And I said, well, when? She goes, tonight. After you get done teaching, can you come over here really quickly? And I said, well, sure. So I didn't pass go. I got in my car, got to Nordstrom. Well, I'm in my teaching clothes. You know how that is. You get on the floor with the kids and you read with the kids and go outside and play games with the kids. So I quick ran to, I think it was Narrative, got a pretty dress with bling, the whole 9 yards. I got some shoes, and I was ready to play the piano for 5 hours. I made up a lot of songs, played a lot of hymns, played all the songs I knew and some that I didn't know. Back in the day, and that day, the women were required to really dress up. We were required to wear a gown like something we would wear if we were accompanying a gentleman wearing a tux. And the gentleman had to wear a tuxedo, so we were really fancy. But my favorite time of year to play, getting back to Christmas, was at Christmas time. Nordstrom has this policy where they only celebrate one holiday at a time. So the day after Thanksgiving, those elves had been working all night long. We would love to come into the store. It was so beautifully decorated. And so out I walked between those doors, above which say, through these doors walk the most courteous people in America. Maybe it said in the world, it's been a while. Anyway, I walked through there feeling oh so glamorous in my oh so beautiful gown. And there were storybook characters in the store that day. They were kind of keeping the kids entertained so their parents could shop and spend money at Nordstrom Mall of America. So I waved to Paddington Bear, hello Paddington. And there was Madeline, hello Madeline. Oh, the goose, hello. And I got to the escalator and I went down the escalator. And suddenly I heard this little voice behind me, little girl. Mommy, look, it's Holiday Barbie. Oh, I felt so good as I glided down the escalator in my oh so glamorous gown and all of my bling. And I sat down to play the piano, and just minutes later, this darling little family came up to the piano. They had a little baby in a stroller and a little girl, 5 years old. Her name was Abigail. She came up to me at the piano and she said, piano lady, can I play your piano? And I said, well, honey, you have to be hired by Nordstrom to play the piano here. You have to be a grown-up. But I'll tell you what, someday, Abigail, you'll be sitting at this big, black, shiny piano. on that comfy little bench, and I'll be standing where you are, listening to you play." And she said, "Oh, you'll be dead by then, lady." So much for feeling younger, slimmer, blonder. But anyway, one of my favorite things to do while playing at Nordstrom was to take requests from the gentlemen who were sitting in those comfy chairs waiting for their wives in shoes. And they would often request this song. Pretty soon, fast asleep. And then I would see their wife coming back from shoes across the aisle. And I thought, I've got to wake this poor guy up. He's going to be so embarrassed. He's drooling. His mouth is wide open. He's snoring. So. And he'd wake up. He didn't know what day it was, what time it was, who the president was. So he was almost more embarrassed upon waking up and being startled like that. But it was worth it. It was a lot of fun. I met people from all walks of life and heard their stories. Many people on the way to Mayo in Rochester to have treatment. So I heard about their journeys. And I just absolutely love that job, playing at Nordstrom at the Mall of America. Another popular request was to play something by the Gershwin brothers. So this is often what I would respond to with that question. share music in concerts during all 4 seasons in all parts of the country. I marvel at the unique beauty of each of these places. And you know, I have to say, right here in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, Grand Living, Lake Lorraine, this is Shangri-La. Right here in Sioux Falls. Grand Living properties are simply gorgeous. And it's not only the properties. When we were training earlier today, I was telling some of the staff members, the dear staff members who care and love so deeply here. It's not just the glitz. It's not just the chandeliers and the attention to detail that is so impeccable and everything is so immaculate. It's not just that, though that is spectacular. It's the warming welcome of the staff that you receive when you walk through those doors. It's the smiles on the faces of the residents who are so happy to be here. I love Grand Living. I am so honored to be a part of this company. And I'm, again, so happy you have come here tonight to listen to some music. After sharing a concert at Grand Living Citrus Hills this past early fall, I received the loveliest letter from one of the concert attendees from the area, from around Hernando, Florida. She so graciously wrote that she and her husband so enjoyed the concert at the Grand Palace. I thought, I have to tell Mel Seifert and Dan Paterka and Bob Dildani that. The Grand Palace. So, I thought that was pretty cute that she thought the people that work here are so distinguished and this property is so elegant that it must be the Grand Palace. Obviously, they were greatly impressed, and I completely agree with her. Not only is this community a beautiful structure, but the grounds are so pretty around here. And at winter time, it's beautiful around here. On Lake Lorraine, oh, this is just stunning. I love being outside in the midst of God's beautiful creation. That is my go-to place for worship. So we're going to bring in the outside and show you some videos that a friend of mine from Spokane, Washington has taken for us. He also loves the beauty of God's creation and worked so hard to choreograph nature that he has captured in film and put it to the music that I have arranged. For the Beauty of the Earth is one of my favorite hymns, and it's one of the only hymns devoted purely to giving thanks. If you think about it, you'll recognize that the last line of every verse is, Lord of all, to thee we raise this our hymn of grateful praise. you so much. Thank you. Everybody met so many wonderful residents here and staff members at Lake Lorraine yesterday and today. And one of the lovely people that I've had the privilege of meeting here at Grand Living Lake Lorraine is Mrs. Ruth Epp. She has devoted her life to missionary work in Hong Kong, ministering and teaching the Word of God. Ruth also happens to be, besides all of this, a very accomplished pianist. And she enjoys performing a variety of styles of music. She has also written 2 books and made several CDs of her own arrangements. She is now a resident right here at Lake Lorraine and enjoys giving talks on her time in Hong Kong, playing the piano, and even writing plays involving her fellow residents. Well, Ruth is going to grace us with a treat tonight. She's going to play for us. She's going to tell us a little bit about the song that she's going to play, and then she's going to perform. Would you please help me welcome to the stage Ruth Epp.
One of the songs that we didn't know when I was a child, one of the hymns, was How Great Thou Art. And when it started to become popular, I didn't like it because everybody played it loud and banging, How Great Thou Art. And it just seemed like a loud banging song that didn't attract me at all. But when I was making my second CD and I got it practically finished, there was room for one more song. And I thought, what shall I end with? And I thought, well, I probably better put How Great Thou Art on it because everybody will think it's not really complete without that. So I sat down with the song and started looking at it more carefully. And as I looked, I was so touched because it's not a loud banging song. It's evidently somebody that really loves the Lord. And you know, when you love somebody, you don't always say, how great thou art. Often you say, you're so great. You know, you whisper it. It's not always just shouting. And so I started looking that song over, and I was so touched by each verse, but especially the second one, when you see Jesus dying for us. And for a couple years, I couldn't even play that second song without crying myself. And so tonight, I've asked Spencer to put up the words for the song, and I would like you to listen to it, watching the words and thinking of what they're saying, because I've tried to make a tone picture out of the music. For instance, if the stars are twinkling, listen, you'll hear them. If there's loud thunder, if somebody bows, or there's so many different things that you can hear if you really look at the words. And so I'd like to invite you to do that and to pray for me when I try to play. I'm 80 after all, and sometimes I forget.
That was magnificent. Absolutely beautiful. And Spencer and I got kind of a bird's eye view here. She's not playing anything in C, the people's key. She went from B flat to D flat. It's a lot of black notes in there. But that's my favorite key, D flat. Wasn't that rich and beautiful? And then she went to G. Oh, there's F minor in there, in the minor type of words. Oh, I loved it. Well, let's give another hand to Ruth. That was really quite something. Thank you so much. It's beautiful. Oh, and then it ended in G. Yeah. Oh, there we go. Yes. That was beautiful. My husband, Kent, who sometimes in concerts, I'll refer to him as Rent-A-Kent, because he's the man behind the scenes doing all the busy work and running the seat table and the audio, the audio, the audio, the audio, and the video. Thank you so much for that. We've been married for over 43 years, and we've been blessed. Oh, thank you. I think so too. He's wonderful. I am very blessed. And we are blessed with 3 beautiful children. Kimberly is the oldest daughter, and she is 39 and lives with her husband near us in Chaska, Minnesota. They have 5 children, 3 of biological children and 2 that are adopted from China with handicaps. And that blessed my heart so much that she chose that. She chose those 2 children to be a part of her family. And our youngest daughter is Lindsay, and she's been married for 10 years, and she and her husband live about an hour and a half north of us, and they have 4 children. So yes, if you do the math, that's 9 grandchildren. Count them, 9 grandchildren. And our middle daughter, Jody, Jane told you a little bit about her. She used to call herself the middleest. The oldest, the youngest, she was the middleest. And despite her challenges of mild cerebral palsy and more of a hallmark autism, she was a very, very high-functioning young lady. And she would memorize things, as autistic people often do. She would memorize your phone number. That was a problem. And she'd memorize your zip code. One day we were shopping in a store called Glad Rags in Minneapolis, and she was chatting it up with the sales clerk, and she said, by the way, what's your zip code? Sales clerk told her. She said, so how do you like living in Hopkins? She impressed a lot of people, I'll just say that. But about 18, 19 years ago, her grandfather passed away due to complications from Alzheimer's, Kent's father. And Jody began a downward spiral. And she is now still locked inside a world that she has created for herself. At the onset of this depression, she lost 80 pounds. She lost much of her cognition, lost much of her speech, and basically, as the doctors told us, she's lost her will to thrive and survive. This was really tough. And at the beginning, we were really seeking peace. Our once peaceful home had become infused with Jody's, frankly, very bizarre behavior when she started this journey of turmoil. And I prayed for peace to be restored in our home and in my heart, and in the heart of my husband and all my children, including Jody. And out of this verse in John 14:27, my peace I give you, not as the world giveth, give I unto you. Let not your heart be troubled, neither let it be afraid. And notice that the Lord said, let not. That means we have a choice. We can let our heart be troubled, or we can let not our heart be troubled. With his help, we can let not our heart be troubled and look to him for all of our cares that we can cast upon him. And I wrote a song called Peace Giver. I thought, the Lord does not have that name that I know of, to the best of my knowledge. I think he needs a new name. So I gave him the name of Peace Giver and wrote that song. And then about midway through this journey, we felt short on hope. We felt very, not hopeless, but we were needing more hope. And so God gave me Romans 15:13. May the God of hope fill you with joy and peace as you trust in him. And I know there's more to that verse, but the key is your heart will overflow with hope when you trust in him. So I wrote a song called Whisper Hope. And I'm not going to play that for you either. And then, about 10 years ago, I was grateful for peace, grateful for some restored hope, but really missing out on the joy. So I went to Lamentations. I thought, God, that's a really weird place to send me. Lamentations, really? I'm lamenting enough. But he sent me to that beautiful chapter 3, verses 22 and 23, that talk about the promise of God's everlasting love and the promise that every new day, every brand new day, is a day of hope. It's a day filled with new compassion that fail not. The compassions fail not. He is faithful. Great is his faithfulness. And I thought, that sounds like joy to me. Every new day, a brand new opportunity to live, to give, to forgive when necessary, to encourage, to learn, to grow. And especially every brand new day is a brand new opportunity to worship. That's why we were created, to worship God. And I thought, I need to write a song. And this one I will play for you, A Brand New Day. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. In this world of increasing tension and anxiety, isn't it true more than ever that, wow, we really need each other, don't we? I love the way Ruth put this down. So I'm going to fix my hair. Put it down. It's been said that we are never taller than when we stoop to help another. Isn't that nice? You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up. This is why I need that stand. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulders. You raise me up to more than I can be. Thank you so much, folks. You have so much talent within these walls of Grand Living Lake Lorraine, and I'm so pleased to be able to introduce to you, who do not live here at Lake Lorraine, another great talent. It's not a resident, but this gentleman happens to be a caregiver here at Lake Lorraine. He's an assistant in a signature program called Facets, and his name is Spencer Smith. He not only, yes, I do agree. He's already become a friend of mine. I'm sure he's a friend of yours. He not only enjoys helping with different activities and accompanying residents on outings, but he's also a very accomplished pianist, like Ruth, who plays regularly both in the Grand Lounge and Monarch Lane Memory Care. Spencer is a recent graduate, so you just have to repeat a few things every now and then, of the University of South Dakota, receiving a bachelor's degree in piano performance. As a classically trained pianist and organist, he is in demand as a teacher and as an organist, and especially, I love this part, this is the heart of what it means to be a musician, especially as a collaborative pianist, partnering with other musicians at Augustana University, University of South Dakota, and in the Sioux Falls area. And Spencer has agreed to share some music with us this evening, so please join me in welcoming welcoming Mr. Spencer Smith. Okay, I want your autograph. I want your autograph, Ruth. Wow, that was so beautiful. Again, Ruth and I got to watch here as a bird's eye view. He changed keys, not to be too technical here, but he changed keys in a very unlikely, unsuspecting, and a beautifully surprising place in that piece. I have never heard that done before, and it was absolutely gorgeous. Really, really nice. Wow, you guys are really best here at HOA. Because you also have Don Fallis here. I just met this gentleman today. I had a talk on the phone with Dan Paterka, who works with Don's daughter, Mel. And Dan said, you're gonna love the people here. There's been a lot of changes since you were here a year ago. And you have to meet Don Fallis. You're gonna love him. He's very funny, he's very engaging, and guess what? He writes poetry. So the wheels started turning. I thought, okay then, maybe we can have some fun with that. And we didn't tell Don this, so he's completely surprised, I think. So I asked a few people on staff here, if you can, could you please sneak away a couple of poems out of Don's collection? And I'll see what I can do to write a song to his lyrics. Well, they're lyrics now. Because I did write a couple of songs to your poems. But I haven't practiced them yet because I just got them today. So this is going to be my impromptu little piece tonight. Put to Don's poems, a couple of them. One of them is untitled. It was written for Yvonne. Is that your wife who passed away a few years ago, Don? Is Yvonne your wife? Was she your wife?
Oh, that was just that was a local resident that I was handing it out to.
Oh, gosh, okay. Never mind about that. So it must have been dedicated to me then. All right. But this is just great.
Oh, okay, oh God.
Untitled poem. And maybe Don will think of a title before I'm done. Or maybe I don't want to know what it is. But anyway, this is the untitled poem by Don Vallis. I won't be singing, you can thank me later. But do follow along with the words. But since I was given two, and I love them both, I had to write a song to both of them.
That's a good one. I like that one.
I did too. It's a great one. Here's another one by Dan Faust. Thanksgiving Day Travel. Okay, I've got to remember what I did with this because I practiced on the bedspread in my room. I wish I could sing it for you, but again, you will thank me. was just great, just how it was done. I love your work. Thank you so much for contributing that tonight. That was fun. Well, I think it's time for us to sing, don't you? I think we need to stand and stretch. There's maybe 3 more songs, but let's stand and sing this beautiful song, What a Wonderful World. On your feet, everybody, if you can. And I'll give you the piano lady intro, and off we will go. Beautiful. You may be seated. Very nice. Thank you for that. Okay, we're going to sing another song before I play another solo for you. And can't put this up too soon, but that's okay. I was going to say, I hope you know this song. I'm a little worried about it because I don't have any words for you. But guess what? You know this song. Happy birthday to Helen Hearer, John F., Bob Eng, Don Fallis, Rita Brader, Dorothy Raggi, Ruth Epp, Jerry Holland, and Beverly Johnson. Let's first give them a big hand. January birthday. And here's an intro for you. And boy, I bet you've never had this many sing happy birthday to you at one time. Here we go. I'm glad you caught that because I forgot to remind you to say, happy birthday, dear friends. And if they're not your friends, they should be, so there. Okay. Like you, ladies and gentlemen, I love my country. And I'm so grateful for men and women who have served in our military to protect and preserve our many freedoms. And I would like to give the veterans a chance to stand and be acknowledged and thanked. So this is especially for you. Won't you please stand, all the veterans, men and women who have served our country. Please stand or raise your hand. Thank you so much. This is for you. God be the glory. And all times, all times. So the last song I chose to play for you friends tonight is a song that I think beautifully illustrates hope. And my hope for you this new year of 2018 is that God will hold each and every one of you safely in the palm of his hand.
Wow. Wow. How fortunate are we? We are so fortunate and so thankful. We're thankful for Mary Beth and Kent. We're thankful for Spencer. We're thankful for Ruth, and we're thankful for all of you for being part of our community or for joining us this evening for the concert. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Thankful for our team too that helped put this together. The culinary team, the facets team, everybody. It takes many hands, right? Wonderful. Last couple things of the evening, we have some giveaways, okay? So we're gonna start here with a drawing. Our first, maybe I should have dug a little bit. Our first prize that we will be giving away is a CD. One of Mary Beth Carlson's 27 CDs goes to Ellen Tabbert. Right here, Ellen, woohoo! All right, next, we'll have one more CD from Ashley here. Oh, from Lisa, excuse me, to Leslie Tufty. Leslie Tufty, woohoo! Great. Congratulations, Leslie. Next will be a bottle of wine Jill will hand out to Gail Carlson. Gail Carlson. Congratulations, Gail. Yeah, oh, we'll see if we can get something over here. And now, the grand prize, not that they weren't all grand, is a catered or a personalized meal for 4 on site here by Chef Matt. And that goes to, drum roll please, everyone, Rich Zimmel. Woo-hoo! Congratulations, Rich. Thank you again for joining us this evening. We hope you have a wonderful evening. If any of you are visitors, guests, and you would like a tour, any of these ladies would be happy to provide one to you. Otherwise, thanks again, safe travels, and have a wonderful night.